Hello everybody and welcome back. Today I'm going to teach you how to do Orisa's Halt from Overwatch. So in the game, Orisa has this ability to spawn a sphere, so projectile, that is going to travel to the air, and once reused it is going to attract every object that it is in its range. So, as you saw in the final results, once I'm going to reactivate the sphere, all the objects are going to get attracted to the middle of this multi-sphere by channel. So actually it's going to get attracted to the sphere itself. Okay, so let's begin. This is the sphere right here. It's actually the dire orb that we created in the Quake Champions tutorial, but I'm going to show it anyway. So what I have here, it's a sphere collision, a sphere, which is a static mesh, and a projectile movement. By default, somewhere here at the top, you'd have defaults in root. What you want to do is to get your sphere, get your static mesh, attach that to the sphere collision, and then get your sphere and drag and drop that on top of the default root, so that way the defaults in root is going to get deleted. Why we want to do that is because projectile movement is working pretty weird when it comes to the defaults in root, so most of the time you'd want to do that. Then what you want to do here is to go to the projectile movement, and here the initial speed you can set whatever you want, so let's say 3000, let's say 4250. Okay, here you need to have 0 gravity scale because you don't want it to fall. And then I think everything is default right here. So you just need to change the initial speed, the max speed, and the projectile gravity scale. Then here, there's nothing too much. I can even delete that. And what I have here is a delay. After 5 seconds, we are going to check if our if our object right here, if this blueprint is valid, and if it is valid we are going to destroy it. So it's basically, if I didn't reactivate it in 5 seconds, it is going to get deleted. Okay, at some point it's going to disappear, as you can see. So yeah, this is pretty much all for the blueprint. So let's go into our character, which is a little bit more complicated. So here I have an input action mapping called use, bind it to my E button. So if you want to get one of those, go to edit, project settings, let it load, go to input, action mappings, click on this plus sign, give it a name, give it a button, and that's it. Then you just need to come here, get your name, mine is use, and just get the input action. Okay. Then we need to do if it's valid with an actor as a variable. So what you want to do here is go here and just get an actor, get here at object types, get that, give it a name, and then plug this into the input object. And why we want to do that? Because let's say we haven't spawned it, okay? We did not spawn it, and that means that our actor is not going to be valid. That means that we want to spawn it. So just get a spawn actor from class. Here at class you want to get your blueprint that you just created, and here by default you would have like this, the spawn transform, just right click, split shark pin. Then here in my viewport I have an arrow that is in front of my camera and in front of my character. Just get your arrow, get world transform, split the shark pin once again, plug the return value location into the location, and the rotation into the rotation. Then here what you want to do is to set the variable that we just created as an actor to be the return value right here. So the halt should be the return value, and then just set halt orb spawned. So this way you know if our orb is spawned or not. So when I'm going to press E, it is going to spawn, and when I'm going to delete it, it is going to be false right here. Alright, so then what you want to do, if it's valid, we want to do the part where it is going to attract every object at its middle. So what we want to do here is to get a multi-sphere trace by channel, get the halt, So just get the actor variable, get the actor location, plug that into the start and into the end. The reason why you want to do that is because we want, basically, if you'd have different values here, there would be like two spheres. Let me see if I can do this. So I'm going to only plug this in here. Okay, so as you can see, it's going to be kind of like a cylinder, but not really a cylinder. So kind of like a capsule component that you have in your character. But you don't want to do that. You want to be a perfect sphere. And why you want to get the actual location of the halt is because you want to be, the location of your halt should be the middle of the sphere. Then you need to set the radius. Mine is 750. Then here everything is by default. If you want to see your multisphere by just by channel, just go to draw debug type and have here for duration, and I've changed the trace it color as well. Alright, then what you want to do is to get a branch from the return value, and what that is going to do is going to check if we hit anything, and if we hit something, that means that we are going to have these red dots. Okay, and if it's false, we just want to destroy the character. If we would not have this, then if I'm just going to press E, it is going to continue to travel to the air. And the reason for that is because we are not going to hit anything. That means that we are going to only have red here, and if this would be red, that means that the return value would be false, and that means that we need to destroy the actor. Then if this is true, we want to get out of the out hits for each loop. So this is going to check the same thing, so the same code that is right here, for literally the same object that gets detected in our sphere. So that means this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. Alright. Then what we want to do, out of the array element, break the hit result, and out of there get from the hit component is simulating physics. If you want this to get applied, you want to make sure that these have simulate physics. Alright, then what you need to do is out of the return value, do a branch and plug that into the loop body. Then what you want to do is to create an array. Mine is called array of object to apply radial impulse. Pretty long name. And what this is a primitive component, and it's set to be an array, so we can set all of these that are having this condition to be true into this array, and the hit component, it is going to be right here. So get your array, get add, plug it in here where it says target array, and then get your hit component and plug this in here. Okay. Then after completed, what we want to do is to check if our halt is still valid. So why we are going to use so many is valid is because when I've tested this out, it was giving me some errors because the engine thought this was pending kill. That means that we are going to do we are going to run a code, and at the same time we are going to destroy it. So we are going to destroy the actor, as you can see here. Okay, so that's why we want to do so many is valid. So here what we want to do is to get is valid, plug the halt into the input objects, get from is valid for each loop once again. And we want to do from the array, we want to get the array that we just created with the hit component right here. Then we need to check if all of the objects are valid, and if it's true, we want to add radial impulse to all of them. So just get again from the array element, get some reroutes node and plug that into the target. Then you want to get the actual location of the halt and plug that into the origin. And the radius should be the same radius that your multisphere chase by channel had. And then here you want to have a pretty big strength, and make sure you have acceleration change right here too. But you want here to add a minus. If this would not be a minus, then all of the objects would just go off the center and would pretty much get impulsed to the edge of the sphere, and we don't want that. We want to check them. Okay, and then out of completed, we need to check if our halt is still valid. Which is pretty, again, as I said, this Actually, I think it's going to be valid every time we are going to run this loop for each loop. But because we don't want to get errors, we are going to do this check because it's not going to affect the performance. Then if it's valid, we want to destroy this, and then we want to set the array of objects to apply Radial Impulse. So out of there, get the make array and just leave this like here, have the 0, and then leave it like that. This part right here is going to set all the elements of the array to be 0. Actually, nothing. So yeah, that's pretty much all for this tutorial. But one thing that I want to say before I end up this tutorial, one thing that you can do as well from the isValid, you could use an add radial impulse. Okay, get the array element, plug this into the target. Origin should be the actual location. And one thing that I didn't explain, the actual location should be the origin, because that's where we want to attract or to give impulse to the objects from. Okay, it's based on its angle. Okay, and then here radius 550, strength minus 500, and here the radial impulse should be a lot lower, the strength. Okay, and then make sure you have your velocity change, and this is going to work as well. As you can see, it's still going to get attracted, but now it's based on personal preference with what you are used to use and what you want to use. So guys, this is pretty much all for this tutorial. I hope that you liked and enjoyed this tutorial, and as well I hope that you learned something new from it, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And guys, until next time, goodbye.